infrastructure existed, you knew how to enter the markets.
Actually, UPI didn't exist. When we started in 2015, UPI wasn't there. There was a talk about UPI.
You guys conceptualized the whole concept of Tez,
Yep.
right? And it's like a startup within a mega startup, right?
Can't call Google a startup, but
For me, startup is a mentality.
Yes.
It's a mindset rather than the volume or the value that you're just trying to provide.
No, Tez was a startup. I just said you can't call Google a startup.
Yeah, okay, fair. We won't call Google a startup. So when you talk about Tez, right? How big was the team? And that was entering. It was a new sector that was emerging. Early 2010s, 2011.
The Tez was 2015.
This was 2015. Yeah. Paytm was already there.
Paytm was already there.
Yeah.
MobiKwik was there. Freecharge was there. So payments were, people had loved payments. Digital wallets was there. And to your two questions, like first the team that was there, we started with like literally a 3-member team, and almost like a startup did a pitch to say we need a seed and get some initial funding to build that. And what was the hypothesis, right? Our hypothesis at that time was wallets were using, but India's wallets were being used what is called as JIT or just in time, which means whenever you wanted to pay something, you funded your wallet with 200 rupees or 300 rupees and made a payment for 100 rupees.
Yeah.
People didn't want to put too much in wallets, and that really was the thesis of...
That was a differentiator.
That was a differentiator. That was the thesis of like Tez or Google Pay.
And was this something that you all knew of because you were experiencing it as users, or was this research driven?
We had instincts on that, but it was, proven by doing a bunch of research. So it's a combination. It was instincts based on us being users, but then also doing that. And then ability to solve both, this whole problem of just in time, and also what would make it very easy across consumers and merchants. So and so that resulted in us
And the infrastructure existed. You knew how to enter the markets.
Actually, UPI didn't exist. When we started in 2015, UPI wasn't there. There was a talk about UPI. So most folks don't know that the first internal version we built of Tez was actually built on IMPS. Wow. It was never launched.
Okay.
Because by the time we built an IMPS based version, UPI launched. And that way initially UPI was going to be limited to the bank, so we weren't sure whether we were going to get to use it or not use it.
Which you could always mask it with the bank as a backend infrastructure.
It wasn't clear at that time, right? And then once we knew we were allowed to use it, we were big fans of UPI and were like, happy to contribute and suggest our ideas to it. And then when we said, okay, you know what, UPI can be used by us, we quickly migrated. The design and stuff remained the same, but we migrated the backend to go from IMPS to UPI.
Yeah.
And we launched with UPI then.
Yeah. Wow.